Emotion focused therapy.
Okay, right. I wanted to be bigger, but I don't know why I'm not getting it. Okay, so the last time I think we ended with let me recall. Oh, why am I not? Just a minute. I need to. Just hold on.
I can make video girl. Make video. See. Why you do it?
Oh, okay. Because I'm here, clicking recorder. It's like it said, let the host give you permission. One check, man. All right. Okay, are you guys there?
Yes, dog.
I'm waiting. Yeah, so if anybody has any more questions, I need to get the recording. The one who gave me the link, I've called him. I have to record, so I need to get him to do that for me. So we wait a while as people come in. I think we still have 11 people to come in. But if you have any questions from last time, you can ask. We are just waiting for some few minutes for him to call them to give me the go ahead to record. Then you can have it later on. But Bright.
Hello, dog.
Bright.
Dog.
Yes, doc. Yes, doc.
No, I mean the class monitor.
Yes, please.
The other time you were talking about the what do you call it? The YouTube thing.
Yes, please.
Uh-huh. I don't know whether I have to. I'm not too conversant with that because I know there are some this thing that automatically just converts it to the YouTube, but I don't have that software in my this thing, so I don't know how it's going to do it.
Okay, so if you have a YouTube account, you can just upload it to the YouTube and then you share the link with us.
No, I don't have a YouTube account. I don't have. So I have to find a way of loading it to the YouTube. I'll ask Dr. Anakwe.
Okay.
Please do that, those things. I'll ask her whether it can be done somehow. When is our paper? Bright. Right. Oh, he's not there.
Dog.
Hello.
Dog.
Yeah, who's that?
This is David. I want to say something.
What are you saying?
The Zoom, you are not the host, and that is why you are not able to record. So there is, when you click on the participant, you will see a tab that says claim host. Click on it and then you become the host for the meeting, and after which you can record.
But he has not given me any key.
So I don't think you need a key for this one.
No, I entered the host key to claim the host role. It's here.
Okay, then let's wait for him.
So that is why I'm waiting, because he said he had done everything. So I don't know why all this one.
Okay, sir.
So just hold on. Your people are still coming in. So
Yes, sir.
so we still have time.
Okay, so Doc, our paper is on June 15th.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So we'll try and arrange for at least two more Zoom meetings before then. Are you listening?
More.
Yeah, 2 more. But I won't do it when you are busily listening. It can be weekends, whatever. Have you heard?
Okay, Doc. So
What?
what form is paper going to take?
Why are you jumping this thing plenty like that? This is the second time you're asking me about a paper, how the form is going to take. What do you mean by form? Huh? What do you mean by form?
Whether it's going to be term paper, online, or face-to-face.
Yeah, Master, you are jumping the gun. Let me do my quiz first. I said quiz, my lecture. Hello, Rob.
The is not picking, so I'll keep on calling this back.
Because I had no man with that claim host. Now, me claim host now, what's the name for a being show? No, also the host key to claim the host role. One fine show. So them mama now send me to my near the mom to record. All right. Bright.
Yes, Doc.
Let's discuss the lecture this thing. That is what is important. If you have any questions, be asking as the people are coming. We are now 23. Maybe by that time. Otherwise, this one I can't record for you. And it's not my this thing. It's not my the YouTube this one. I think she's using it now. Priska, put off your mic. Gloria Bedu, put off your mic. When you come now, you must always mute your mic unless you are taught to. Learn to be disciplined. Do you have any questions so far? Please, as we wait for, otherwise I'll start with that recording. And if that's okay, fine. We don't have any questions.
So please, can we get the slides as we wait for the video?
What video?
The Zoom recording.
But the recording, the slides are not part. I don't normally even give slides to MPhil students. I don't give slides to MPhil students. Slides, it's my own intellectual property. So if I'm giving, don't put pressure on me. If others give, that's your own property. Apart from that, do you have any questions on this and the slides and the exam? You are not asking questions that would help you. We did a lecture the other time. You don't have anything to ask. Yes, Kelly.
Hello.
Yeah, Kelly.
Yes, doctor. I wanted to ask a question relating to what we you said what we did last time.
Okay.
Yes. So with counseling, with when you're in a session with a client, for example, it's a case of existentialism.
Okay.
When they come to terms, or when they realize that they are in something is not what it seems, and their anxiety gets the better of them, and it
Mm-hmm.
becomes hard to control them. Usually when they're in an anxious state, they can become unpredictable.
Okay.
How do you not 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 handle it? How do you keep them in a state? Because if
All
it gets
right.
out of
So
hand, they
so
may become a danger.
yeah, but I think the best way that you can is to, of course, you in the initial stages of finding out it's causing them to be anxious or angry or what's the word, confused. So in terms of the situation, all right, what situation that there is, then you can, for example, if you're saying that, oh, I know my marriage, so I mean, what am I even doing here? My marriage is over. Meanwhile, the marriage is actually not over. It is something that is envisioned may happen, isn't it? So the reality has not happened yet. So you go ahead and, I mean, just cool down. Like Bright is jumping now. What form is the exam going to take? Meanwhile, we have not finished even the course outline. He's in a hurry to know what form the exam will take. That you are just being over anxious for nothing. So my marriage is over. My marriage is over. But you have not talked about why are you saying your marriage is over. At the present moment, the marriage is my it's not going to change. All right. Sometimes we assume people will not change, but sometimes we are also contributing to that particular situation by my behavior or attitude. The and maybe the husband is giving up on the marriage. Then we may have to work on your attitude. So being very conscious or being very what is the word in quotes uncontrollable in the sense we don't say that we are going to give you this in, but we just talk you through it for you to relax. Like the accounts will say, so we need to deal with it. So these are some of the things. Or you tell the person to take in deep breath. It's the techniques that you see, but you see the way the mind works. If your mind is so focused on the issue, I mean, taking deep breath, and you are not trying to disengage your mind from the negative expectations that you are having. Deep breath may not do much. All right, it's just a physical thing.
Yeah,
But your your
yeah,
your mind, there's a neurological process that is going on that you need to. The other thing that we can do is to shift your attention. For example, if I have internet access on a big screen TV or whatever, I can ask you what makes you happy. What kind of this makes you happy? Is it food, cartoons? Is it something? Then I switch it on. Then we are all discussing just to take your mind off for that moment. That's another trick you can use.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
okay.
another trick you can use. It goes for adults, it goes for the teenagers, it goes for children. Maybe the adult likes cricket, the
Yeah,
game they play. Fine. Oh, okay. England is playing Sri Lanka. Let's see what is happening. So the session shifts. All right. It doesn't shift from solving your problem, but it shifts to a dimension that can calm you down. We can even watch
yeah,
that cricket just for that day, and we won't talk much. till maybe 5 minutes to time, then I can ask you, how are you feeling? Oh, I feel fine. All right. So these are some of the things you can do as you go home since we continue the session. So these are some of the things you can do.
Oh, so that can be considered a session just to calm an anxious client. Then, like you said, maybe a little bit of time. You say, okay, so you calm down. So then let's talk about the issue the next time.
Yeah, we talk about the issue the next time. But remember, he has said that my marriage is over, so he's afraid. He's apprehensive going home.
Yes.
So what you do is you touch on the issue, what he can do as he goes home. You know, if the husband is still angry, just cool down. You know, just be yourself. Don't retort like you usually do. Just cool down because we have not finished how he dealing with how she can actually conquer her about this. And gestalt psychology also deals with a lot of fears. Remember the pictures that we looked at. You know, if I can you see my screen, all of you?
I can see it.
Yes, we can see.
All right. So I'm answering this question. So when we were here, let me show you. Now, what do you see, Kelly?
It's still going. Yes. Okay. So I can see 3 trees in the shape of heads.
All right. So
These
you
are the
see, I
ones
don't know
who
whether
have
the last time you were, but if you look at the
yes.
first one on your, it should be on your right or your left. The one that is nearly submerged.
Yes.
Have you seen that one?
Yes,
Good.
I can see it.
Now
I
let
can see
that
it.
good. That is how the person see the, the marriage. It is nearly over. Have you seen what I'm saying?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Good. It's nearly over because of the slope. So the slope can represent the negative, this thing that you are looking at. You see, as you are negative, so it's like the thing is, but become positive and see whether it
Okay.
is over. You see the dimension I'm trying to. So as you climb back,
Yes. Yes.
climbing up is letting go of the negative connotations. So as you climb up, you see that it's not bad as I thought. If I can be positive about it, so gestalt psychology too uses that. Even though that is why I was saying last week that in dealing with these theories, especially under counseling psychology, you don't choose one over the other. You see how I've
Yes.
combined existentialism with the gestalt psychology to
Yes.
make a
Yes.
point.
They
Uh-huh.
work hand in hand.
All right. All right.
Okay.
So, any other question? I'm still waiting. I wait. I said 5 minutes. I think I have 2 minutes more. If it doesn't come on, we will start. Unfortunately, you may not get the recording. That's the only problem that I have. Is there any hand up? Can't see anybody's hand. Please ask questions, and don't be like Bismarck, always waiting for. Please don't always move towards certification. It's exams. Like this beautiful question Kelly has asked. It's a very practical question. How do you deal with this issue? These are the things. And my question is not memory questions. My question is not memory questions. You practicalize the thing. So I expect you to ask me questions on last week. Bright, do you have any question from last week? Since you are in a hurry to do exams. Bright Jokoto.
Yes,
He's
Doc.
missing it. I said, do you have any question from last week?
No, please.
No, please. But you want exams. Okay. Any other? Like I said, I'm waiting for the guy to give me the go ahead to record. Otherwise, I'll do it without recording. And it's not going to benefit you. And my slides are not automatic that I give my slides out. It's my intellectual property. So don't expect, you need to be listening and take notes. If you are saying that, oh, they will give out the slide, because some of you don't come on board. They don't will get the slides. I'll hear his voice. So why should I bother? I'm not that type. All right. I'm still waiting, and I'm not getting any indices. So I may have to start because I've called him. He said he's calling the administrators to help me out, but unfortunately, if any of you can also record the voice somehow. Martha, you have a question. We're going to start in the next. Yes, Martha.
Okay.
Yes.
They say they don't deal with techniques.
Who doesn't deal with techniques?
The existential. I read it. They said they don't believe in dealing with your clients with techniques. I want a bit of clarity on that.
Well, you read. I mean, I have not read that, so I don't know. Yeah, you read it.
Yeah.
You are giving me the information.
So please, what
I
are
don't
the
have any
techniques
idea
that you can use? So please, what techniques can you use in the existential?
I just gave you one. I just gave you one, or you are not listening at all.
I was listening, sir.
So why are you asking what are the techniques again? In counseling, you don't usually want technique per se. What is the main tenet of existentialism, if I were to ask you? Martha, what are the main tenets of existentialism?
They believe that the client has enough resources to deal with their own problems.
Are you sure?
Yes. Yes.
So they believe that the client has their own resources.
Yes.
So
yes.
Then why do they come for counseling then?
And so the therapist needs to do on just guide the client to be able to use the resources that they have to deal with the problem that they have brought to the therapy.
So how would he do that if
session?
The client has his own resources to deal with it? So how would you help the client? Okay. Have you seen the slide that is on now?
Okay.
Can you see the client, this thing that is on now?
Yes, I can see.
Yeah.
Martha.
Doc.
You ask the question. Can you see this?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Can you read what is there?
Yes, please.
I said read what is there.
Okay, existential therapy tries to help people find meaning and purpose to their lives. It seeks to end the fear of the unknown. A therapist actively encourages patients to use their capacity to make
choices. Have you seen any technique there? There's a lot of noise in your background, whether you are in an office.
No,
Hannah. Hannah. Oh, hello. All right. I think he's not hearing me, so we can start. So one of the techniques is what is here, or when you encourage, it's not a technique. Right. Is that Hannah? Bright is a technique.
It is a technique.
So why are you saying you read that they say they don't use techniques? Is it the same person I'm talking to, or is it a different person?
No, okay. This is Susan. It's Susan who answered the question.
Oh, I'm speaking to the one who wanted. So All right, this is where we ended. Essentially, I ask questions like, where am I? Why am I here? And I mean, in every theory that we have, there will be a technique. Maybe it is not very explicit, but it's still a technique. You know, even breathing exercises that some of them use is a technique. But like I answered Kelly, if your mind, because whatever you are dealing is a neurological problem, that you fear that your marriage is over. So I have to make you understand that there is a way out. There can be a way out. But because if you keep on being negative, then you don't see the problem well, because you are on the slope and you are thinking that is all. Because you are in the valley, everything is over. No, but why don't you come up with some positive and find out whether it will still be like that? Okay, so I think from there, I promised that we'll be dealing with what we call emotional focus therapy. I wanted my thing to be big, but you can see the screen very well. Everybody, please. Is it okay? Or small?
Doctor,
That
The
is
text
okay.
in the picture is small.
doctor.
What do you mean by the picture is small? Right, can you
How
talk
What
on
is
my
with
behalf?
the text in the pictures?
Forget about that. That is how I got it. I will explain it.
Doctor, yes. Where your cursor is, move it just a little bit forward. No, down. Just a little bit down. Yes. Right next to what looks like a projector.
Yeah,
next
okay,
to the 85%.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. But the thing, something has blocked it here. Yeah, this thing has blocked it. I wanted to, there's a screen here which is not giving me access. I don't know why.
Hello. Yeah, I think where the Keza, where Kelly was, not that place. Where we have the zooming, the minus and negative, where we have that percentage. Where the Keza is, you move to your right. No, come backwards. There's a symbol there. No, yes, that one. Click on it, please.
And that it doesn't come here. Something is blocking it on my screen. I don't know why. This thing here, have you seen it?
Yes, sir.
It's normally supposed to be up. I don't know why it has gone down there.
Then can you use F5?
F5.
Either
Control F5.
No, function.
Function F5.
Yes, please.
No, it's not working. It's not working. Okay, do you know what? Just give me a moment. Let me see how this one. Let me bring it back and see whether it will allow me to. It's still there. It's still there. Don't know why this thing. When I say leave, no, not leave the meeting, cancel. I don't know how this thing can. It's just blocking. It's supposed to be up. Oh, someone. Every time I'm trying to, it is just blocking. Okay, I've moved it. Good. Let me take it up. Good. Right. Are you okay now? Is it okay now?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we are talking about emotional focus therapy, or EFT. All right. It's based on the promise that emotions are key to identity. When we say identity, there we're talking about you, your personality, your emotions, how you process them, how you understand them, how you respond, are all connected. All right, to you. So, according to EFT, emotions are also a guide to how you choose and how you decide. What do we mean by that? For example, if I were to shout on Alatia there, Alatia.
Yes, dog, I'm around.
All right, so if maybe Alatia says something, I got I say, Alatia, shut up. Now, Alatia can decide that, oh, why dog say that to me? And out of anger, he goes out of the group now. I mean, he leaves the meeting. All right. What has happened? He has reacted to stimuli, and he has made a choice to leave the meeting because he's angered. At the end of the day, he may suffer because he will not be able to partake in the meeting, the Zoom meeting, the Zoom lecture. It may affect him because he will not understand what we have dealt with, and so on and so forth. So it's a guide. So normally when you are angry, just cool down. Think of all the alternatives you want to use to decide how you react to the issue, and weigh the options. Now, this one is not going to be, doesn't mean you take 2 days to do that. In your anger, you are processing the anger, you are doing that. Because once you make a choice and you decide to react in a particular way, like the example I've given, you may one day, or you may even regret that I should have done this the other way and not this way. All right. So it assumes that lacking emotional awareness or avoiding unpleasant emotion can cause harm. You know, emotional awareness means how you feel about the situation and how you think that your response to that stimuli may affect the other. So it's not only about you, but it's about the others too. And it may render us unable to use the important information provides. So I'm just using anger as one. Now let's say fear. Let's take, for instance, they are digging a culvert, a very big 5-meter culvert. And you're walking in the afternoon, and it's a big 5-meter wide culvert. And suddenly you hear a roaring behind you. That means a lion has come, and he's gradually, walking towards you. You have a choice to make. Either you jump the meter culvert and save your life, or you greet you and you are just there, and the lion will come and have his lunch. Fine. So it's up to you. It is what you choose. All right. So here we have some emotional focus therapy. We'll go deeper into this. I was just trying to get a better one, but I couldn't get. All right. Now, it says stage 1. This is not what I want to teach today, but you identify and understand the underlying emotion. Now, Atalia, when I shouted at Atalia, can somebody tell me the kinds of emotions that would be he will be going through when I just shouted at him, like the example I gave? Can anybody tell me anything? Is anybody's hand up? Kelly, yes. Then
yeah.
Fear. You would be okay. Going to fear. Okay, good. Ima?
Doc, anger and shame.
Anger and shame. All right.
Yes.
Why? That's a good one. Why do you say you add the shame?
Yeah, I added the shame because he's in the midst of a group of people.
Good.
And usually, when you are shouted that way, sometimes you do not only get angry, but you also consider the people around, and then you.
All right. So we have fear, anger, shame. David, your hand is up. David.
Yes, you may put up a defense.
Come again.
You may put up a defense.
Yeah, but that is the response. I'm talking about the emotions that you'll be going through. That's good. That's the response. All right, that's the decision you may take to respond to that. So we have fear, anger, and shame. All right. Any other? From that one shout, Eric.
He will be traumatized.
Traumatized by Eric.
Yes, please.
Hey, traumatization. Why do you say so? I'm not saying you are wrong.
Because,
Why do you say so?
Because your stress is a kind of a verbal abuse. It came because the way you shouted at
Eric,
him.
why do you want the IGP to come and arrest you? What is this verbal abuse you are talking about?
So you know the way you shouted at him. Because
but he's shouting a verbal abuse.
So that's my understanding, because you know you are dealing with let's say a younger person, like you are elder, and this person is let's say your student, and the way you shouted at him, also he was with his mates. So as somebody mentioned, the kind of shit that he will go through.
Okay.
That's why once mentioned that he will put out some kind of defense.
Okay.
So
So he feels that there's some verb. Is it mental abuse or
the way I look at it, where it is coming from, and the process.
So what I'm saying is that is he going to go through a form of verbal or mental abuse? Eric, do you understand what I'm? Do you understand what I'm trying? No, I'm trying to help you.
Okay.
So I may have shouted, I may have said shut up. Okay, so the shut up may be the verbal abuse, but you will also be going through a form of mental torture. That's what you meant by being traumatized, isn't it?
Okay. Yes, please.
That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going.
Okay. Thank you.
So the traumatization comes from the fact that he feels mentally, violated by shout. Right, Doris. Doris, honestly.
Yes, dog.
Eric, you can put your hand down. Yes.
Yes, I wanted to come in for Eric in terms of the client going through a mental abuse. But then Eric was looking at it from the fact that the therapist actually, the shouting, because the therapist is using the mouth.
No, let me clarify. The example I gave, I've just seen it as an example. Normally, the therapist will not say. Bagbin, can you mute your mic? Bagbin, Vitalis, Bagbin, mute your mic unless you want. Yes, Doris.
Yes. So, from the angle of the client, the one you have shouted, the person is going through a mental abuse. Psychologically, the person will be going through a kind of the person will be dramatized in a way, psychologically.
That's what we are saying. Yeah.
Yes. So that is it. It's the client that goes through that. And then the person wants to also add another point. The person can also develop a low self-esteem.
Okay.
If he's a timid type, take rich among.
Okay.
If already the person is not that type who is so to speak out, and the person an attempt and you are shouted, you develop you are shouted at, you develop more low self-esteem, and you wouldn't even like to talk when you are in the midst of people again.
Okay, that's good. All right, your hand is up. Then we'll move to the next one.
Yes, though. I think the client will have mood swing and wouldn't want to talk until the conversation has ended.
Okay. So there will be mood swings too. Mood swing, is it a positive mood swing or a negative mood swing? Or mood swing
Negative
is
one,
quite,
of course.
mood swing is quite general. All right. Thank you very much. So you understand where we are going. All right. Then So you need to find how you the word is de-escalate. There are some techniques that we use in emotional focus therapy. There are certain steps. If we are not able to finish today, I'll give those to you in the next lecture. So we'll look at that. And it says here, help couples see the negative cycle as the enemy, not each other. Negative cycle can be anything. You know, when I showed you the tree, if you are always envisaging something negative to happen, it becomes a problem because then you are still under, you are in the slope. If I can go back to what I showed, you know, using the gestures, you are still, because you are down here, you feel that that is all. But if you are positive a bit and you keep on coming up, you realize that after it's not bad. You know, so there are ways to help clients deal with the anxiety, so on and so forth. This is not working on today per se, but just way that people talk about a treatment process. All right. Boss, master too, because I was not any hope.
When I called up, he said because I have not signed into the account, that's why. My office email address and then the password. Once you sign in with my email address and password,
okay, text it because I'm on. All right, no, thank you. So let's go on. So it may be a render as unable to use it. Okay. So then the next level says engage the withdrawal. I will come back to this. I want to spend my time on this. But it said therapists qualified in emotional focus therapy can help people understand of concerns. You know, it can be anything that they have. And these are others come back later on. These therapies may help people learn to become aware of emotions. Now, for example, most that would feel ashamed, would respond as some fear, some maybe will have what traumatized and so on. Say shut up. What should be the first thing he should ask himself? Anybody?
Yes, Doc, let me try.
Okay, try.
He should ask himself, what did I do wrong? Or what have I said wrong? And know what he has done wrong.
What did I do wrong? What have I done wrong? Uh-huh.
Yes, please.
All right. And
where he was wrong,
come
then
again.
If he's able to identify that maybe he has gone somewhere, that will help him to accept a responsibility for.
All right. Okay. But apart from he asking himself, what else? What other question can he ask? Is there a hand up that I'm not seeing? No, there's no hand up. Uh-huh. Don't you think he can ask Felix, do you want to talk? Or is it Eric? Is it Felix or Eric?
Doc, Eric, I want to try.
Okay, Eric,
Doc,
yes.
Yes.
Then Felix, put off your mic.
I think he will ask why the doctor shout at me.
Yes, he can ask, oh, but why is doctor shouting at me? That should be the first question. Then the lady who spoke, I forgot your name. Then those other questions come. Oh, have I done something? Where did I go wrong? So the best way before you react would be, this is what we call the emotional awareness. Oh, doc, did I do anything wrong? Because once you don't know why the shouting has come and you decide to act, then you are not fully aware of what is happening. All right. If you read more on emotional intelligence, then you understand where I'm coming from. All right. Because you need to ask yourself, and these questions do not have to take 1 hour. Immediately that stimuli comes and is unpleasant, you need to ask yourself these questions very quickly. Then you can ask Doc, oh, Doc, have I done anything wrong? Then Doc will say, oh, I'm just joking. I mean, if you check on me in the class, sometimes I make a remark, I say, oh, don't mind me, I'm just joking. But if you take it seriously and always you're on edge, but why should the doctor tell me that my coach is not nice? But I'm not playing on you per se. I'm just being a bit humorous, even though sometimes it may be a cause, something of cause humor. When we say cause, it's not CAUSE or COR. This in COURSE. It's COARSE, cause. So find the meaning. All right. So that is emotional listening for you. So it says it allows people to become better as using information provided by adaptive emotions. In other words, once you are aware of your emotions and you are aware of the emotions of others, you are better able to adapt. What do I mean? For example, if in the class I said something that you felt offensive, and later you got to realize that, oh, Doc was just, just joking about it. You are not going to take it to heart. You will not let it hurt you. You will not let it hurt you. And you are not going to, on the basis of what you heard from me, react in the way that may be negative and inimical to your own position within the class setting. All right. So I said people may be better able to cope with and decrease negative effects of maladaptive emotion. The word maladaptive also means negative, things that doesn't help. All right. So that is the focus of emotional focus therapy as we go along. Let me do a few more slides, then if you have questions, you can ask. Okay. Now, in emotional focus therapy, we are saying that, now let me try, just hold on. He has given me this, let me see. Is he sure of what he gave me? Just hold on for me. What he gave me doesn't go here. Gosh. Okay, I think this is not where I'm supposed to put. Let's go on. Unfortunately, this one will be difficult to record. What he gave me is not. Also, do you want to ask a question? Your mic is on, so I thought you wanted to. Also, for Mesa. The therapist and the person in therapy collaborate in an active process. All right. So emotional focus therapy, it is not only the client who is an active participant in trying to resolve the problem, even though he is having emotional issue, but both the therapist and the client are what we call equal contributors. Okay. But like existentialism, we believe that individual, please, somebody's mic must be off. Please try to be disciplined. Try to be disciplined. Bismarck Atalia, your mic is on. You people try to be disciplined. I don't see why your mic is on when you are not speaking. Please. I cannot go back and forth. Only my mic should be on as I'm talking. If you want to talk, you raise your hand, I'll see it. Let's do that and help ourselves. Otherwise, I go back and forth and it's all very tired. All right. So the person in treatment is seen as a person who is capable of interpreting their own emotions. You know, let me give you a very interesting thing that happened whilst I was doing my master's. That was the first degree. I was the SRC president then at Kibas. And a friend of mine came and told me that somebody has reported me and that when I see him, I don't greet. I said, oh, is that so? That is awful. Why is that so? Then he described the person to me. Then I said, that guy. But that guy is always angry. He's always, he hardly smiles. So me too, when I see him, I'm afraid. Then my friend went back to the guy and he told the guy that. Then he said, he should come and tell me that is how his face is. It's not that he's angry. That is how his face is, you know. So once I got to know that, anytime I saw him, I'll say hi. But I read his emotions wrong, thinking that he was always angry. So there was no need to greet him, you know. So what I'm trying to say here is that is the client or the person in emotion focused therapy who is capable of interpreting his own emotions. There are some people who, when they are angry, then they are laughing. So if they don't tell you that I'm angry, you may misinterpret such emotions and you may give the wrong prognosis or the therapy or whatever help to that. Any questions so far? Any questions? Some people are dropping. Okay. Any questions, please? All right. If there are no questions, let me go. So when you look at this thing here, I hope this one there. So it's a 5 basic moves of the EFT. I mean, when you read these things, you see a lot of them. Reflect, present process, you know. So let's take Atalia's issue. He was shouted on. So what question did we say he should ask? Can anybody remember? Oh, you are quiet on me or you can't hear me.
Somebody is responding.
Who is it?
Eric.
Eric, yes. Eric, then James, then Ima, then Apia. Yes.
Yeah, we said the first question should be, why the doctor shout at me?
All right, good. What other question, Ima? Where do I have? Where do I above? Your hand is up, or you've forgotten your hand is up?
Hello, Doc.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the next question should be the cause, the reason why doctor is shouting at the person.
All
the
right,
actual
good.
thing that he has done, yeah.
All right, David. Yes.
Yeah, that is what I was about to say.
All right, so Bright.
Doctor shouted at me.
Right, Bright. What's your hand up?
No, please.
Okay, if your hand was not up for Sawara, you are just waiting for exam and what form the exam will take. Yes, any other? The other questions, 3 more. Remember, I said my questions are scenario questions. It's not memory questions. What are the 5 steps of emotional focus therapy? No, I don't ask such questions. So, all right. You've forgotten the questions that we say we should ask. Can anybody remember what question should Atalia himself be asking himself? All right. So you find out. We've already discussed that. So that is the within process. Then explore more deeper or new emotions. Now, once I shouted on him, and let's say you said you'll be traumatized, you feel fear. What are some of the emotions you said you will go through? Anxiety, traumatization, fear, shame. What else? What else?
Anger.
Anger. Good. Anger. Then Kelly.
Sadness.
Sadness, that's one thing we miss. Sadness too will be there. All right. So he's now exploring. So I'm feeling angry, I'm sad, I'm traumatized because he shouted in front of my mates. I'm confused. There's another thing that can come. Is Kelly your hand still up? Kelly, is your hand still up?
Yes. Yes. I wanted. How about worry?
Yeah, worry too. Worry too will be there. All right. So what he's doing now, David, your hand is up. David.
Yes, sir. Low self-esteem.
All right, we said that low self-esteem, you feel low because he's been more or less shamed in front of. So he'll be exploring the deeper and the new emotion that may be coming. So a lot of things will be going through his head. All right. So as he checks all that and he's able to answer those questions that, oh, Doc, why? So the best way is to maybe politely ask Doc, oh, Doc, please, have I done anything wrong? But if you were to go, Doc, but why did you shout on me? That's another thing altogether. Okay. So then once he does the deep emotional checking those ones, then we set up coherent and not and primary emotions to the partner. So at this juncture, the partner is me. So that is when he can now try to understand James. Yes.
Doc, in a case where the person you shouted at, you have been doing that to that person. So as you shouted at him or her, maybe he or she, or like he or she has, will see it to be normal in a way. So can we also say that one is
Okay, so
a factor in a way?
you have brought a new one, a new dimension. Said I normally shout that trend one, but this one it was like out of the blue. Are you getting it?
Okay.
If it is a normal thing that I do, he will laugh it off. Like David, I always tease David. Oh, David, David the kid that I'm angry with it because he knows that. Oh, I mean, doctor normally tease me, so I'm used to it. And now David, my boy. No. Thank you very much. So James, you understand that? All right. So then you set up it. So he asked doctor question. Oh, doctor, have I done anything? So trying to process what is happening. Then this is where you start telling. Oh, doc. And that so have you noticed if you are able to ask the perpetrator of a thing that brought about the worry and so on, and you are giving the right feeling, shame, fear, worry, sadness will begin to evaporate one after the other. Are you with me on that? So we realize that in terms of emotions and understanding your emotions, it's very important to be very intelligent on that and also understanding the other person's emotions. It really helps. Otherwise, you may take decisions and make choices that may be inimical to your own functionality. All right. And the last one is said, integrate, validate. That's what I've just said. You view all that, then you realize that, oh, Doc was just joking about it. It's not something that he meant. And even though he has embarrassed me, and the other way you can do that, if you feel shame and embarrassment, maybe not in front of everybody, but maybe after the meeting, maybe Atalia can come and, oh, Doc, I know you were joking, but you see, because my mates were there, I felt very ashamed. Then I'll say, oh, okay, sorry. Next time I'll just make sure that I don't. But I'm very good at picking people's level of emotions and how they process a stimuli. Like I said in the class, I can say something to David, which I can't say to Kelly or to, let's say, Atalia or to Bright, because I've checked almost all. You are just 30, so at least I've assessed your emotional this thing already, and I at least to the best of my knowledge, I know what to say to who and that will not bring any. You know, I have another class, not you, but another class I teach. And there are particular people in the class, even when you crack a joke, it's offensive to them, you know, because they are always on edge. And I've noticed that. And so what do? Are you going to say that because one person, because you want to be humorous, he feels offended, even though it is not meant for him? You are going to stop being humorous. These are some of the things we all go through. Not now, remember, in that classroom, I'm not a therapist, not a counselor, I'm a teacher. All right, any questions? We have to go fast. It's now 5 o'clock. Any questions? Or I should go on? Let me see whether anybody has a hand. Yes, Kelly.
Okay. There are some people when you're trying to find out the reason for a situation like that, and they say, "Oh, I just did it," or "They just did it just because," or to make. They don't tell you that they did it to make you feel bad, but they will say it in such a way that you yourself you'll feel bad, like they're trying to make you the odd one out. In the
Okay.
case of, let's say, bullying.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So in that aspect, do you have the realization that, okay, now I know that when this guy tries to make fun of me, it's like this. Does I don't know if it does it really make you feel better, or it just gives you clarity.
Oh, it gives you clarity. Let me because you see, you know that the person is picking on you to make you feel bad. All right.
Yeah.
In front of people, so that they are more or less makes you as if he's winning. Yes.
Yes.
You know, I like giving my personal this. God bless you. So that the person I'm going to talk about is a mate of mine, but he's going to be with the Lord. This guy would always pick on me just because I don't know whether he liked me too much, or he was envious of me. I never got to, because anytime I asked him, he would just brush it off. You know, anytime in front of people, he would try to tease me, give me names for me to react. And when I got to know that he's just trying to let me react in front of people so that he can say I'm this and that, I just ignored him. All right. And the more I ignored him, the more he tried. And the more he tried, the more I just kept quiet. I didn't react. I wasn't angry. And after a time, he stopped. All right, Corazon, you will speak later. Just give me a minute. Then, you see, so now I was very aware of how I felt when he was teasing me. There were times I was seething in anger, but then I said, if I reacted, I will give him the upper hand, because that's what he wants. Kelly, are you following what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I decided I won't react. He will sometimes give me some horrendous nickname, thinking that people I will react and people will say, that is he never got to, and with time he stopped. So more or less, I mean, I've never read about emotional intelligence at that time. This is secondary school, But that means I was able to manage my emotions very, very well, because I got to know that is what he's aiming at, because sometimes nothing has happened. He just wants to be, in the past we say he wants to date my top, just pick on you. It was a form of bullying. We were in the same class, we're in the same form. He was not older than me, but he just felt, no, this guy, I just want to worry him. So that is how I manage my emotions. I never once. Yeah.
So scenarios that build them emotional maturity.
Oh yeah, that means that there's higher level of emotional intelligence. You understand what he's trying to do, and you understand what makes him feel good, which is inimical to your functioning, and you don't give him the, what do you call it, the fire. Yeah, the satisfaction of making you feel bad, but you don't aggravate or you don't antagonize him too by saying, if you don't stop, I will beat you up. Or no, it wasn't necessary, because that's what he wants. Okay. All right, Corazon, your hand was up.
Okay.
Hey, Corazon, your line is singing. Your internet is bad. Corazon, can you type? Can you type your Corazon? Are you listening?
No, can you hear
Corazon,
me?
Yeah, your internet is very bad. Carry on.
Hello, Doc.
Yes, carry on now.
Okay, Doc. I'm here. Yes, Doc. Oh,
yeah, I'm listening.
Okay, Doc, can you hear me now? Okay.
It's bad, but you say.
I need a little bit of clarification. In situation where you meet Alatia in
Corazon, your connection is really bad. We can hardly hear you. If you can type, then I can read and answer.
Who has been a similar situation.
Listen, it's really bad. You type your question, then we can attend to it. Let's go on. All right. Corazon, type your question.
Do I assist or help the client to confront his or her emotions? Okay.
Corazon, I couldn't hear any part of your question. Only this. Kindly type, then I'll come to it. Then. Yes.
So
okay.
I'm typing.
Your question is bad. Emotion-focused therapy is founded on the idea that emotions should be used to guide healthy and meaningful lives. Kelly, are you still there?
Okay.
Yes, doctor, I'm here.
All right. So the example I gave about my own decision in the university, the secondary school, where I need to know. Corazon, please mute your mic. Corazon, mute your mic. Your internet connection is really bad. Really, really bad. So try and type your question. All right. So I was saying that the way I responded to my friend who is going to be with the Lord was not to aggravate the situation by antagonizing him or me myself being sad, shameful, and so on. Because emotional focus therapy, like you said, is based on the idea that emotions must allow us, must help us to live healthy lives. It must not lead us to live unhealthy mental lives. Okay? So it's a theory that is based on about the inquiry into human experience. If you have done a bit of reading on medicine and how our emotions affect us, you realize that negative emotions are not good physiologically for us at all. Here's a typical example. Have you noticed that if you are on loggerhead with somebody, you are not in a talking term with somebody, anytime the person is not there and even the name is mentioned, your heart begins to race. That is the blood, your heart pumps quicker. Just the mention of the name of the person is not there. All right. So what is happening? There's a secretion of adrenaline in your bloodstream, which helps sometimes. But if it is overdone, it makes you, and sometimes your heart will ache just by hearing the name. That means you are reacting to whatever maybe memories you have of that person, whatever the person did. But if you can deal with it well, and you tell yourself, look, let bygones be bygones. After all, where's the person? That's how people can hold on to things that were told them 15, 30 years ago. They are still holding on. I mean, one whole generation holding on to something that somebody told you. That is too much. Anyway, So it's based on the scientific edition about how we live our lives. Now, how it also tells us about how emotions are produced, the importance of emotions to human functioning, which we are dealing with, how emotions are related to thought and behavior. Emotions are always related to thought and behavior. Remember, behavior is the action you put, the response you give to the stimuli. All right. So whenever you hear something that causes an emotional arousal, you should ask your, like at the Italian incident, he should ask himself those questions very quickly before he reacts. Because if he reacted by, let's say, you say, doctor, I don't like the way you spoke to me. After all, I'm an adult. You at least give me some respect. Well, it is in his right to do that. But he had not asked me why I did that. And if I were just to say, oh, sorry for that, I didn't mean that, you see that you'll be more ashamed because he didn't check. All right. So once emotions are related to thought and behavior, you need to be very careful how you manage your emotions. All right. Any questions again so far? It's getting more exciting. You have other slides that will make you more exciting. Unfortunately, I couldn't record. Unfortunately, because what he gave me, I don't know how I'm going to. Just an unfortunately. All right. By the way, what is this emotion showing? The one, Mike. Can you see my cursor?
Yes, please.
Yeah, what is this emotion?
A person who is worried.
Is worried. Okay. All right. Any other? I know it's an emoji, but what do you see? Worried. Is it because he has put the hands at the side of the head?
Yes, he's also
depressed.
thinking about. Okay.
Yeah, who was speaking?
It's me. I think he looks depressed.
Okay, depression. All right. Patricia Nani.
Yes, dog. Dog, please. Seems the person is really thinking about something.
All right. He's thinking, but look at the eyes. What is the eyes telling you? David.
I think he is confused and anxious about
Okay,
something.
you are all right. Anxiety, confusion, depression, and so on. Of course, this one is happy, isn't it? Kelly, is your hand still up?
Yes, the one on the bottom looks sad.
Yeah, it's sadness. It's sadness, and this is right. I can connote so many things. Okay, let's go. Emotion focus therapy has what we call emotion schemes. Now, these are the core concepts. We will see what the emotion schemes are very soon. What was somebody asking a question? No. So no emotion schemes in your reading. It is the core EFT paradigm. Now, all these were developed from models of how our emotions function. All right. It helps people to both change their personal and emotional schemes. Emotional schemes, I will go to the slide. It's like something that happens to you, and the memory of that gingers some emotions. Now, if you can all cast your mind back to when you were young, and I don't know whether any of you want to share any time that you felt so either betrayed or sad about a situation. If you think you can share with us, any of you can raise your hand and share. Then I'll go to the next one. What I'm saying that these schemes are things that memories that may have happened already, and it's in the past. But when you remember them, it gingers about the same emotions you felt at that time. Is anybody willing to share? Remember, we are all therapists, so sharing helps. All right, Kelly, I can see your hand up.
Okay. I remember this was in GHS. When we were in, usually we stand in line before the start of the day. So they were having an announcement, and I was talking with one or two of my friends.
Okay.
And all of a sudden, they just kept quiet. They were looking forward.
Your
So I was
friends,
trying to figure out, like,
your friends just suddenly kept quiet.
Yes, they just kept quiet. So I was what was going on until I turned and I saw that the teacher was standing right behind me, and because he had come so quietly, my friends had noticed, but I hadn't noticed. So I got a knock on the head whilst they whilst they got scot free, and I felt like, oh, they should have at least warned me that he was coming. Why couldn't they do that? So I felt betrayed.
You felt betrayed. So
yes.
that as you grow, as you grew, you see that situations like that may recur, and you it's like, oh, why didn't the person tell me? And that your mind goes back to that day, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
One. Please, this particular that we're doing is not. I am to you. It's not the two purpose. I don't that.
Dog.
Yes.
Please, I also want to share about when I was in SHS.
Okay.
I joined the cadets, and whenever someone is being beaten or something, then I will be laughing at the person. So the instructor always tell me to stop that, but Doc, please, did you say something?
No, I was trying to follow you. You said whenever what happened, you say slowly.
We are at parade, and then they beat someone, then I'll be laughing at this. But I kept on doing that. Until one day I was laughing, then the man came and gave me a slap, a hot slap.
Oh, you mean on the cheek?
Yes, serious one. And for some hours, I was not able to hear anything from anyone.
Oh.
Yes, so I was sent to the hospital.
Seriously?
Yes, my mom came to the school, and then she wanted to send him to the education office for doing that to me. So I was sent to the hospital, and I was given some medication. Anytime I see this teacher, that anger I felt when he slapped me, and then the pains that I went through when I was in the hospital always come back. So that's something that
wonderful. Those are what we call emotional skills. You know,
I want to share.
So even when you are, let's say, watching a film and you see a man slap a lady, I can tell you that the anger will come back. Meanwhile, you are not the one being slapped. It's somebody on the film, and it's a make-believe thing. All right. Okay. There was another hand before Kelly. I've forgotten who. Person has put his hand down. Let me go down. Kelly, wait. Okay, Kelly, your hand is still up. Yes.
Sorry. I thought I put it down.
Okay, so put it down. I see from here that your hand is up. All right. So if it helps people both accept and change their personal emotional skills. So the thing that Kelly and this thing has shared about betrayal and anger at being slapped in front of people and even going to the hospital. Even though when we look at Patricia's, I think she was warned several times and did not listen. It becomes a problem. So he shouldn't have been slapped. All right. Somebody said, Branford Anyima, Doc, please. A client says, I sometimes feel that I'm going to die. And as a result of that, he hardly finds it difficult to sleep because he normally have nightmares that his soul is moving from him. Due to that, when it's getting, it's a question, when it's getting at night, he starts experiencing fear. How can this client be assessed with that emotion of fear and help? Okay, so he's afraid that he's going to die because he has nightmares and so on and so forth. Well, there are two dimensions to this. What would bring about the nightmares? What causes the fear of going to die? Is it that somebody has said something to him? Is it because of the nightmares he has? You know, so normally the psychotherapist would assess, psychoanalyst can sometimes they will get you into that dream state and check. I prefer being very clear about what is causing them. Is it that something that has happened to you, or the fear? Because sometimes you dream, and of course, some people see coffins, some people see talking to people who are dead. I mean, those who are Christians and those who are spiritually minded will tell you that is not a very, when you dream and you see yourself talking to somebody who is already dead. If it's one, but if it's consistent, then you may seek some spiritual help. I mean, that is what I can say. Because in terms of assessing you to use any other, this one is not emotion. It's about the person. The fear comes as a result of something. And that something is an existential thing. What I mean is that it's real to him. And it's not in a realm that is you can deal with. It's only when it's about, so he doesn't sleep. The other thing that they will do, where the medical people will give you Valium to sleep. Even though me, I've stopped using Valium. I use Nunum to sleep. I just go and take some few spoons and I'm off. But we must get to the bottom of what is causing the fear. Sometimes it's our own imagination, our own fear. Maybe somebody has said something, or somebody, God forbid, in your family that died mysteriously, and you think you are the next. And that's why I'm saying that if our own kind of Branford, right there. Horizon, you said you would bring your question. You never said it.
Oh, he's there.
Okay, it's here. He said, Doctor, please, is it right to assist clients to confront their emotions using Natalia's situation? Of course. You can let them. So, Atalia, you said you got angry when you heard doctor speak. Why is it so? Then he can tell you that, oh, normally my father, when I was young, used to shout on me. And then that now I'm old. If I hear somebody shout on me, I still feel it's an emotional skill. Those memories come back. But then your father may have shouted for a different reason than Dr. Bedu-Addo shout. So you need to clarify that, like Kelly is saying, why the shout. The two shouts may not be the same, even though they may engender or they may bring about the same emotions. All right? Okay. Any questions? Eric.
Yes, Doc. Please, on Saturday, I encountered a student who was crying.
Yeah.
And I wanted to find out why she was crying. She told me that she had a friend whose father was an actor. So during one of their activities, the man died.
Whose father was what?
My student's friend's father.
Was what?
Was an actor.
Actor. Oh, okay.
Yes, please. And he died while they were acting movie.
Oh, okay.
So when the man died, the girl's friend, who was also a lady, killed herself.
Oh.
Because she loved her father very much. Now, because of that, my student doesn't want to watch African movie.
Okay.
Unfortunately, last Saturday, the school, they were watching African movie and the girl was crying.
Okay.
So when I approached her, she narrated this story. I want to find out whether that one is emotion scheme.
It's an emotional scheme. It's an emotional scheme. So she has associated African movies to very unpalatable situations like the death of people. So he's afraid that, you know, not that somebody will die in the school, but it just reminds her of that the French father who died. You know, so in dealing with that, you let her know that, look, watching the film, first of all, there are lessons to be learned. Unfortunately, your friend's father died, not because he was acting in the movie, but probably, I mean, the postmortem would have told us what the issue was. So I don't think it's a film acting that, during the acting that killed him, but probably there was something else.
Okay.
You know. So because other than that, it's always like that. Let me tell you my own emotional scheme about these actors. You know Fred Amogi? Fred Amogi is an actor, an old actor. Those of you are young, you don't know him. But when African movies, Ghanaian movies started, he was he was always a villain. A villain means the bad one. You know? And I've never, at my age, I've never come to like him, because he's those films I watch almost always he's either trying to kill somebody, he's scheming to harm somebody. He's always, meanwhile the man is a very humble person, you see. So me to have my emotional scheme about Amogi, that once I see him, the day I'll see him act in a very nice way, maybe to help me. But he has come to say that his character is very opposite to what he acts in the film. But I have seen him as a very bad person, because almost all the films that he acted earlier, he was always being bad. So we all have emotional schemes. But I know it's just a film. When I see him face to face, I'm not going to hate him. No, because I've overcome that. But that is my emotional scheme about him. Are you okay? All right, can we go? Or is it their hand up? Let me check. All right, no hand. Let's go on. It's time. All right. So an emotional scheme is that formed by emotions being connected to memories of self in a situation. As a result of the emotional response, it can be recreated again and again after the event. Like Patricia was sharing hers with us, and like your friends sharing hers with that, not liking African movies and so on and so forth. All right. Then a memory of the painful event or the reminder of it stimulates an emotional response. You know, so anytime, so the emotional response that came with your friends, the students, this thing is that once he sees an African movie, it reminds her of the death of the French father, and it brings a response of crying. Okay. Now, I want you to look at this woman, the one down here. Now, no, before that, let's look at the one at the top. There's a lady, and that's a mother. You can see the mother is livid, angry. Now, what do you think are some of the emotional schemes that would go with this girl as she grows up? Anybody? This is counseling psychology. So you people, it's no longer guidance and counseling. So that's Maubi Okoto Nate.
Yes, Doc. This is Felicia Okoto. Doc, I think she will feel hatred for the mother.
Come again.
Yeah, it's Felicia's name. Unfortunately, I'm unable to correct that.
Is that your son?
No, the name is my son's name.
Oh, okay. Don't worry. Okay, you answer. All right, correct. Yes, answer there. So what did you say?
Doc, I said the girl will feel hatred for the mother in future. Will have hatred.
Yeah, but we are talking about emotional scheme. Remember what we said is on the screen. So what emotional schemes? So you are saying hatred for only the mother?
And at times for her own self.
Felicia, did you understand how we explained it? Because all right, okay, you've tried, but let somebody help. Yes, anybody?
Hello, Doc.
The same people are always talking. I want different people so that they can also participate. It's the same people. Okay, I will call. Who's Gloria Bedu-Addo? Gloria, are you there? Okay, so they have just put up their mind. They don't want to. Who is Joyce Yawa Akapo?
Yes,
Joyce.
Yeah.
Yeah, can you answer the question?
Yes, I think anytime this child will set the eyes on the mother, it will be ringing in the child's mind that this woman will get angry again, or any woman that gets angry will relate it to the mother's action.
Okay, all right, yo, that's good. Vitalis.
Yes, sir. First of all, the little girl is going to feel hatred from the mother's side, and then she's going to develop that in her interpersonal relationship with people. So you will see that in the later life, the little thing that anyone does, she's going to have that kind of hatred for that person.
When you say little one does, what is the mother? What is the mother doing here? What does this? What emotions the mother showing here?
Anger.
Anger. So anybody?
Yes.
Good. That's what I want to. I want to use the right words. Don't
Yes,
say any little thing. And I don't know which little. All right. That's very
okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Wonderful. Divine. Davo.
Dog, I think the mom is yelling at the daughter. So,
Yeah,
and
yelling.
the daughter
Okay.
also develop anger to counteract that sort of yelling. So when this girl grows up, anybody who try to yell or anybody who try to upset her, she will also try to cap person with what? A severe anger.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so yelling, that one of the schemes would be yelling would bring about what? Severe anger. And yes, any other person, very good. All right. So that one is clear. Now let's go to the woman down there. What kind of emotion do you?
Sadness.
Who is speaking? I didn't call you. I don't know who you are. Is it Priska?
Worry.
Worry. Okay.
Yes, Doc.
All right. And is it Bright who spoke first?
Yes, please.
You always need to put up your hand so that I can see you. All right. So sadness, worry. David.
Yeah, sir. I see a transference of worry from the mother to the baby.
Okay, you think that the baby's face is, it doesn't know what is happening,
Yes.
and it doesn't look happy. All right. So, Bright, your hand is up. Yes. Yes, Bright. Unmute yourself. Oh, he's forgotten. Corazon. Corazon, you want to speak? Oh, people are not sure. Corazon, as for yours, I beg, may write your question. We can't hear you at all.
I also think it's a dog.
Susan.
Dog, say. I've also seen that actually from the look of the baby, It's like she also feels sad for the mother that she even wish she can ask, Mommy, what is wrong with you?
All right, that is fine. So if we were to say that what kind of emotional schemes will this baby be having if he sees the mother like that or sees somebody like that? Susan.
She'll remember her mother.
She remember her mother about what?
That she has always seen, or she has seen her mother in this situation before.
What is the situation?
That's the sadness.
Please,
the
when
mother
you get be specific. Don't be general, please. All right.
Okay.
So she will associate that phrase with sadness, isn't it?
Yes, please.
So if you grows up and see somebody like that, you see that, oh, the person is sad, and so on and so forth. Okay. At least you're understanding where I'm getting to. Let's quickly hurry up. I also need to get ready for church. So let's see the next 20 minutes whether I can do something. So emotional schemes are models that outline how emotions can be, one, experienced physically, two, cause physiological changes, then influence the way we think and guide future actions. So any negative emotional scheme, if you don't deal with it well, it would lead to your future action. And if it's also positive, a positive emotional scheme, it will also lead to any positive action. You know, if you associate every shouting to being angry at where the shouting is coming from, then you may not react well. Let me give you a typical example. I mean, if we go back to this one, this lady who thinks that every yelling must be responded to by anger because at this time the mother was yelling. And let's say she's crossing the street. Unfortunately, she had earplugs in the ears and he didn't hear the oncoming car. So somebody was shouting, hey! Then angrily, instead of checking why the person is yelling, he gets angry and still walks off. The car will knock you down. Are you getting the picture I'm trying to paint? So, emotional schemes are not always something that you can always rely on to behave, especially after it happened, you know, like Pat's own where she didn't listen and she was given a dirty slap. I mean, it's not the anger of the slap that would help her, but what came before the slap, that if you are corrected to stop something, then you ought to stop. Otherwise, the consequences may be dire, even though it was not correct for the person to have slapped her that landed her in hospital. So that's what we're saying. So you see, when clients come to you and are reminiscing or going back on emotional schemes of their earlier lives, the one question you should ask is, dwelling on those emotional schemes are helping him or her? And the answer, obviously, sometimes is no, because like the saying goes, we learn from the past, but we don't live by the past. We don't live by the past. That means what has happened in the past is what we live by. No, we can't do that. All right. Let me see whether anybody has any question. If not, let me move on. I may have to stop at 6 because we have to get ready for church. All right, so emotional schemes are models that outline how emotions can be experienced physically, cause physiological changes, influence thinking, and guide future action. All right. Then techniques used in emotional focus therapy. All right. EFT sessions typically center around the development of two skills: arriving at one's emotions through increased awareness and acceptance. You know, like I tell you in the class, anger is an emotion, and it's good to be angry. It is how you process the anger and respond to the anger that matters. Because if you're not angry, sometimes it is a survival instinct. anger. Let me show you. Let's say a gentleman goes somewhere and he's always being beaten or bullied by somebody and so on and so forth. And the person is on the verge of being killed as a result of that. And he doesn't respond. Sometimes the anger can help you, master some courage and tell the person, please, you have to stop. You are really annoying me. And the person may take that. Sometimes it is good to do that. Other times, when you weigh the situation like I did, when my schoolmate was trying to be on my case, I realized that he just wanted to see me angry. And I didn't give him that benefit. All right. So arriving at one's emotions will increase awareness and acceptance, and also learning to transform emotions and better use the information they provide to avoid negative or harmful behavior. That's exactly what I did years ago. I used the information knowing that the person wanted to see me angry, get angry, so that I react, so that I can say, hey, this guy, he doesn't have patience. He was just provoking me for nothing. And other effects of emotions. Okay. Let me deal with a bit of, then these are techniques that we can use, the other techniques. And one of them is what we call emotion coaching. And that is what I would end with. So emotion coaching, that means there are times that you have to coach people how to deal with their emotions. And normally this thing is for young people, but it also helps in elderly people as well, or grown-ups, because sometimes if you don't manage your emotions well, and especially if you are a leader and you have a very tiny emotional intelligence, your people are doomed. Because if they are the least provocation, you throw tantrums, you are shouting at everybody, you are not a good leader. Anyway, most people have dropped off. I don't know why, but so we are dealing with emotional coaching. Let's see what. Now this picture, I just took it from somewhere. Like the lady in question, a small lady, I'm sure, is giving me has two pictures. This one is a smiley one. This one is a sad, so she knows. So perhaps the mother would you put up that one, so I'm sad. So, and one way of doing this emotional coaching is that you let the child speak out how he's feeling. So this is sadness, and this is that he's happy, And like I said, it's for teaching children, but it can also be used in adults. So emotional coaching is about helping children to become aware of their emotions and to manage their own feelings, particularly during instances of misbehavior. So that is how it started, Like, let's say a man who comes home and says, I won't eat my rice, but the other time he shouted on me that I didn't drink all the soup, so I'm hungry. I won't eat their food again. How does that help? You drink the soup, because that is where the nutrients are. Maybe the wife didn't say it well. But if he now gets to go from the therapist, drinking all your soup, especially after eating a big bowl of bowl of fufu or banku, is the soup that matters. It's not the banku. But all the nutrients are in that soup. Then you'll be able to understand and now manage your emotions. All right. So these are the 5 essential steps of emotional coaching in children. Be aware of your child's emotions. Recognize your child's expression of emotion. As a throwing tantrums, he's telling you that what has happened he doesn't like. You promised to bring toffee, you didn't bring. So he has thrown himself down, he's dirtying himself all over. Fine, you may need to scold him. At the end of the day, note that the child is telling you that when you make a promise, please don't break it. All right? It's another way of teaching the child. And make sure that next time you do that. Listen with empathy and validate your child's feelings. I feel sad because my friend did give me some of the stuff. You know, you may say, oh, it doesn't matter. I'll give you toffee. But no, he wanted his friend to give him toffee. So then you let him know that while it's not every time that your friend will be able to give you toffee. And if he doesn't give you, it doesn't mean he hates you. But you know, maybe it's only one toffee and he couldn't give that one to you. So you are teaching. All right. So most people have dropped off. So I'll try and help your child learn to label their emotions. So I'm feeling sad. I'm meningi. I'm not happy. You know, I feel frustrated. I don't know how we say it in that way. Anyway, how we say I feel frustrated in that way? Anybody? Where are my our friends?
Hello, Doc.
Martha. Yeah, Martha. Yeah, Martha.
No, I feel frustrated. You can say it in a way that Mechaka. Yes.
Mechaka, that's all. There's a noise at the background. Mechaka, that's all. Hello? Okay, she didn't hear me. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, you say that Mechaka. Dog. Yes, please.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes. The next one, you help your child learn how to label that. Then set limits when you are helping your child to solve problems or deal with upsetting situations. You see, in other words, it's not every emotion of your child that must be satisfied. Because if a child has eaten one toffee and he says he wants 3 more, you know, and he expresses his emotion by throwing himself down, going through tantrum, and you always respond by giving him toffee, you will get sick, you know. So even though you are letting him express his emotion, it doesn't mean you should accede to every demand. It's not good. All right, let's do just about 2 more, then we can go. So the 5 steps, that's what I've told you about, you know, and these are: be aware of your child's emotions, recognize that emotion is an opportunity for correct connection and teaching, help your child to verbally label emotions, communicate empathy, understand, and solve. All right. Then these are other 5 big steps to managing big emotions. I remember Kelly was asking that when somebody comes into therapy, sometimes, you know, they feel so bad and they are not able to control themselves. What do you do? Okay. So these are some of the things somebody has said. Somebody going through an emotional, what do you call, bad swing. Remind myself that it is never okay to hurt others, all right? Or others to hurt me, it's the same thing. But then look at this. Take 3 deep breaths or count slowly up to 10. This is what you were talking about, you know. You take a deep breath, but I'm saying that whatever is happening to you is a neurological thing, it's in your mind. So you may take the breath, but if you are still dwelling on it, you still feel the palpitations. Use my words to say how I feel and what I wish would happen. You know, that means express yourself, express what you think to be good for you. I don't think he treated me well. I wish he would have used another word than saying that I'm a fool. It's not good for somebody to call you a fool, especially when you know you are not a fool. You know, you are expressing yourself. You are saying how you feel and what you wish would happen. Then the other thing you can do to help yourself is when all these things do not, then you ask for help. You know, ask for help. You see a therapist. No, the way my wife talked to me, I didn't like it at all. It makes me feel very low as a person. Then you calm down. Because see, heightening your anxiety doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help anybody. So that's why there are times people say, just calm down, just calm down, just calm down. To be okay, just calm down. All right. Any questions? I think I will end here. We'll take another time. I'll tell. I mean, I have this. This has been given to me by a friend from UMass. you set it up. Unfortunately, he forgot with the recording thing. So I'll ensure that they do it, and next time I will record it. No. So Bright, we will fix another time. I know your exam start when next week.
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes, so we'll find time that you are not, well, maybe the weekends. He has given it to me for 2 weeks, every day of this thing to log on and just help you out. So we see how it works. So I'll confer with Bright and we'll know the next time we can meet. I have to get ready and go to church. So is Patricia still there?
Oh, please, I'm here.
You were supposed to get in touch. So call me after the lecture.
Okay, Doc.
Because I have not heard what happened. All right. So we'll meet another time and complete this before your paper. Your paper is, I think, the last paper or something last but month. So I'm not worried. I have about 2 weekends to get in touch with you and do something. So I'm okay. All right. So if you don't have any question, can we call it a day? So what have you learned? Can anybody summarize what we have learned?
Doc, I think because before the summary, we were talking about the emotions, but we're only focusing on the negative emotions.
No, we are not focusing. We are not focusing on the negative. No, I was also talking about. I don't think I focus on. I don't think I focus on the negative emotions. Or what I was saying is that emotion. The key thing about EFT is to help people deal with emotions that incapacitates them, but it also tell us to enhance those positive ones that will make us feel good, isn't it? But anyway, so what your question was that?
Like my question was that some people also feel happy always, whether they are sad or not, they are also always happy. Is it not a problem on its own?
Class.
Why is it a problem?
Phone number was spotted to call back.
The person is always happy, whether there is something to offend the person is still smiling. So I think this one is.
No, I think you see, like I said, if you have time, you read on how emotions affect us physiologically, and you understand that there's a hormone that is released when we are happy. There are 2 of them. One is called serotonin. Serotonin. Now, when you Google that, you realize that, for example, if I support what do you call it? Let's say Chelsea, and Chelsea, anytime Chelsea wins, you see that I'm very happy. I'll be happy. The serotonin has been released in my bloodstream. When we are beating, you see that I'm not too happy. So being happy all the time is the best because and it reduces even your blood pressure. So it is not it's not a bad thing. The only thing that is bad about it is when, for example, you are supposed to do something and you didn't do it and you are being scolded about it and you are still happy about that. That is a bit abnormal. That's a bit abnormal. But when things that would affect the ordinary person and you will go, hey, this one, and the person is cool and is happy, it's not that, God forbid, he sees somebody dead and he's happy, but it's like situations where everybody is like, hey, this one there, but he's cool. He's not too moved by those negative emotions. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, well, thank you.
Yeah, any other? All right, can somebody summarize, then we can go, please? I can see a lot of you dropping.
Hello, Doc.
Yeah, who is that?
Hello, Doc.
Yeah,
hello, Doc.
Yeah.
Yes, Doc, please, do we have a situation where one will express emotion? You can just see that the person is not feeling happy, but then they are not able to identify their emotions. You ask the person what is wrong with you, and it's like, oh, I'm okay. Everything, I'm okay. But you can see that the person is not happy. how do we confront such emotions? The person doesn't want to come out to express that, look, I'm sad, or I'm going through something. But you could see, but it's like the person is not open up. How do you handle such emotions?
How do you handle them? You have just answered that the person is not willing to open up. You know, even when you are feeding a 6-month, a 3-month-old baby, for example, and the baby is full and you are still trying to put food into the mouth, what does it do? They spew it out because no human being wants to be forced. One of the cardinal principles of guidance that we have studied, and I know so those of you, is that guidance is geared towards what? Cooperation and not compulsion. It also comes into counts. It's because it's a human thing. What I'm trying to say is that if the person is not willing to speak about it, you don't force it. You don't force it. You give the person time. Because one, probably he's not very sure about himself, how you take it if he were to express his emotion. For example, let's say you tell the person that he should go and pick a glass for you, but he's so afraid of breaking. When he was young, he was always breaking glass, drinking cup. That's what I do by glass. And he said he's afraid of glass. You may laugh, so he will not tell you. He may not open up because he will think that you will trivialize his fears or her fears. So sometimes the fear of what the other person will think will not cause the person to open up, And two, depending on his or her personality, if he's a melancholic or a phlegmatic, those who don't want to talk about issues, and you push it, they won't mind. They won't mind you. You have to give them time. And at the right time, they will open up and let you know, especially when they know they can trust you with what they're about to say. Something happened. My brother, one of them is more or less a phlegmatic, melancholic. And when my father passed away, I was more or less the treasurer. That means I collect money and we can, because I'm more or less unorganized. So the contributions were coming to me. Instead of bringing the money straight, he gave it to my other brother who never told me about that money. Years later, my other brother comes and say, but it seems the money I gave some years ago, you didn't mention it when you were giving the account the other time. I said, well, did you give him the money before he confessed what has happened? So sometimes those who are not in that category of very open people cannot express themselves. You have to give them time. Don't force it. Is that okay?
Yes, Doc. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Can somebody just summarize? Then we are off. What have you learned? Quick, David.
Yes, Doc. We started by saying the emotion-focused therapy helps or is the key to one's identity. That is, it helps one to actually identify himself. And then again, it helps an individual to make choice and decision.
Okay.
Again, when an individual begins to lack awareness, then it creates awareness of his emotions.
Okay.
That will create or cause a harm to the person and his environment.
Okay.
And then we also looked at the concept. Let me give one concept. We said it helps both. It helps an individual to accept and then make a change to his emotional schemes.
Okay.
And then the last thing I want to talk about is it helps one to have a healthy emotions and then guide actions.
All right. Okay. Very, very good. Very good. Any additions? Or he has done it all? All right. Okay. So if there are no additions, I think let's call it a day. We'll find, like I said, I'll liaise with the bride to see the best time to. I'm trying to see whether I can do just a recording on some of the slides I have that I have not heard and load it on this thing. I'm trying the YouTube thing, but I couldn't. I'm not extremely digital savvy. I have to confess. If maybe Kelly were with me, maybe it would have helped, but he's also in Winnipeg. So I'm not in Winnipeg now. I'm not. I am doing something for the National Accreditation Board. So I'm not there. All right. So take care. We'll meet another time.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.